All right, y'all, we got to talk about the elf. That's right, guys. XM Studios has just released their Kurt Wagner, their Nightcrawler statue from their X-Men line. Quarter scale piece. We're going to take a look at pictures, dimensions, price, and I'll give you my final thoughts. And I know everyone's going to want to know who did it better, XM or Sideshow, so I'll get into that as well. But first, let's start with the price tag. So this piece retails 1,499 Singapore dollars, which is just shy of $1,100 USD. They are only making 299 of this piece. So that's kind of the trade-off for the higher price point. And I've done a ton of comparison videos. Compared a Sideshow piece, which will have maybe 3,000 out there floating around, and a piece like this that has 300. So, that price difference kind of is made up for the low edition size. But let's get into the piece. First of all, I love the lighting that they did on these pictures. That's something that I like to play with. So you have that light blue background illuminating the statue. And then we have Kurt Wagner, we have Nightcrawler in an acrobatic pose. One thing you can't say about this piece is that it's boring or that it isn't dynamic. It is uber dynamic, which is a Nightcrawler trait. He is the acrobat. He's the elf that bounces around and bamps, and we're definitely getting that there. You can see a bamf attached to his back. It's billowing. It's got the pinks in there. It's got the black shadowing, and then you have Kurt above it, and this is an ultra realistic take on the character. I mean, you mostly see him wearing spandex, but you can see his uniform here, or his outfit, has a lot of those modern details that XM Studios loves to do. He's got his trademark pirate sword. You can see his tail going up from the back. We can get a little glimpse of the portrait. Looks like he's tangling with a sentinel tentacle, and we'll take a look at more of that as we get to the base. Here's a similar angle, but he has more swords, dual wielding, and his tail even has a sword this time. And this portrait has the shorter hair. Love the fierce emotion in his face. We can see a little bit more of the tentacles here, more of a bamf coming from the sentinel hand as well. And here is the full piece, and yes, it's a sentinel base. But, I'm not really going to complain. It goes with so many of their statues. So 83 centimeters tall, which is about 32.5 inches. So it's got some nice height to it. 45 centimeters deep, which is just shy of 18 inches. And the width is 43 centimeters, so just a little bit smaller. It's just about 17 inches. So those are the dimensions. We can see the piece next to the XM Studios coffee mug, and it's got a lot going on. It's definitely more of a Dio scene than just a museum pose for the character. Moving on to the next picture, it's kind of a similar angle, similar picture, but that nice blue in the background. And I think I've said this before in these videos, that kind of gives you a better idea of what it would actually look like in your collection. Most of us play around with the LEDs to really add some more to the statue. A lot going on. The base is a little busy. It's got that Danger Room sub base going on there. And I'll talk a little bit more of the busyness later on in this video. Here's a close-up of the portrait. You got the yellow eyes, the squinched eyebrows. Great job on the teeth, on the blue lips. The shadowing looks great. The hair looks great. It's black, but it's got those blue highlights. Very comic accurate. You can see his costume or his outfit with that modernized take. He's almost got like these hard armored shoulder pads. Another clean look next to the XM Studios mug. Great shot. A lot going on. A little bit more of a close-up. You can see the details on the, the hilt of the sword. I watch Forge and Fire with Fee sometimes. I might have got it wrong. The bamf actually looks like it's trying to show you the movement of him coming from the palm of the sentinel to above it, maybe. Maybe he escaped capture. He looks like he's damaged some of those tentacles. You have the hand, kind of a smaller footprint on the hand. Sometimes we get those sentinel hands and they're huge. Like I'm thinking maybe Beast, for example. But this one has some good weathering, some nice darker blues, a lot of machinery. You can see like on the thumb of the sentinel hand. XM Studios takes the time to kind of show you how these things would work. Here's a close-up of that baby blue tail wrapping around the sword. And look at the knee. So you have that honeycomb-like texture where the knee is. You can see the texture on his thigh. It's not just a smooth finish. It has like a leather-like look to it with a strap around there as well. It's the little details. I keep seeing these swords and I want to say swashbuckling. Is that a word? But look at the detail on the blade itself. You got like this red stripe through it. Again, like that calligraphy there. And look at the white glove. I love, taking the time to sculpt in the folds to make it look like fabric, even though it's sculpted. You've got that dirty, weathered look to the white glove. I think the hilt is the bottom part of the sword. The guard is what I'm thinking of. Forged and Fire fans, sound off below. Then we have the foot, that two-toed foot, or is there a toe in the back? Same great detail on that white. I like how it's an off-white look. It doesn't look shiny and new. It looks like it's been used and it's been in battle, like as we can see with this piece. Same with the next foot over here. Again, taking the time to sculpt the damage within the tentacle. Here's a look at the BAMF from the back. So, I don't know if I love the BAMF. It almost looks like a brain or a blob or Gak. You remember Gak from back in the day? It's kind of got like this shine to it. I don't know. I don't think I'm loving the BAMF, to be honest. You could easily tell what it is, but I don't know. Looks a little off to me. A closer look at one of those sentinel tentacles with this point here, slightly different angle, a little bit more of a close-up. He's acrobatic, he's in movement, definitely bamfing from the palm of that hand to above it to try to land a blow. Here's a look at a different sword, or at least from a different angle. This tail without the sword in it, gripping onto one of those arms with his hand here. Same great detail throughout that costume. Another close-up of the tail. Here's a different lighting pose, a close-up of that. This is definitely an elaborate pose. I mean, this is probably one of the most unique poses in statues. Here's a look at the longer hair. It almost looks like your boy. I'm not mad at that. Yellow eyes look great. The teeth look great. I gotta tell you, for the higher price point that XM Studios offers over Sideshow, you see the extra value in those close-ups, in the teeth, in the eyes, in just the overall intricacies within the sculpt. So we'll talk more about that when we do the comparisons. I think we've seen enough of this piece here, but you know what, one more, the close-up here of the short hair, because I believe we saw the close-up of the long hair. Open mouth, teeth look great. They don't look just like one solid color. They have almost like a dirtiness near the gums. You can see the gums, the shine to them. Here we go, Nightcrawler Classic. It shows you what you get: an additional right arm switch out, an additional left arm switch out, another portrait, and another tail. This video is brought to you by Ninja Funk. Help save the universe from bad music by telling your LCS to order Whatnot Publishing's first book, coming out on November 2nd. Big shout out to JPG from THATSPIDERMANBOOTH.com and Street Level Hero. I think this piece looks great, man. To be honest, I think it has a lot going on within the movement, within the sculpt. The paint applications look great, and it's what you get from XM's X-Men line over Sideshows. They go more realistic, they go more modern, and they definitely put more into the piece, which is reflected in the price, which is offset by the edition size. Now, I've done enough of these XM versus Sideshow X-Men comparison videos for you guys to know that I typically fall on the Sideshow side of things, because I like how theirs has more of an animated series look. It's a little bit more smoother, a little bit more clean, whereas the XM can be a little bit messy and a lot going on. Some people prefer that. So it comes really down to a preference thing. I prefer to have that cleaner look with more of those animated series inspired elements with the lower price point, with the much higher ES though. So that's kind of the trade-off. So that's my thing. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong either way. And I gotta be honest, the Sideshow Nightcrawler was a tough piece to beat, man. That was one that was like universally loved by collectors when those pictures came out. And I'm seeing and hearing good feedback on this one as well. It just depends on maybe your overall collection or what kind of direction that you're going in. Let me know what you think about XM Studios Nightcrawler in the comments down below. Let me know which one you think is better, whether it's the XM or the Sideshow. As always, thanks for watching. Stay minty fresh. Peace.
DJ Links.